Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pantar Dragon, and today we'll be doing a video about how to pick your champion in Champion Select as requested by Shane O'Mac. Now before we start this video, let me make some statements first. First of all, we aren't in the LCS. That means we won't be making specific team compositions for the game. We're going to be playing champions which we are very comfortable playing as, so don't force yourself to play something you don't want to. But when picking a champion, or even being a certain pick like number 1 or last pick, there are a few rules I would like to go by when making the team comp. And with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you the formula which I use to pick my champion. The formula, or priority, which I use is the OPs is greater than comfort picks, which is greater than at least one tank, which is greater than a good mix of magic and physical damage. So first off, we want to pick any of the OPs when they are up. So let's say we're first pick. The OPs to me are Rek'Sai, Sejuani, Nidalee, Hecarim, and Irelia. So I would ask my teammates if any of them wanted Hecarim or Irelia, since I don't play top lane, I play jungle. If not, then I would probably ban them. Then second off, if our team doesn't have a tank, then obviously I want to prioritize picking a tank, since it will be hard to find those fights when you don't have someone to initiate and soak up all the damage so he can survive when he initiated. And third off, we would like to have a good mix of physical and magic damage on our team, so the enemy doesn't just stack armor or magic resist against us. And basically this is how I prioritize picking my champion in Champion Select. Alright, so you might be wondering, what about counter picks? Don't you ever base your picks off that? Of course, that's why you usually see people picking top laners and mid laners last, since they don't want to be counter picked. And then you base your pick off what the enemy laner is playing. But as for jungle doesn't really have a counter pick, since it is more player versus monster. Although I do feel like Rek'Sai vs Rengar is a really big counter pick because you can see him through his stealth, and Rek'Sai can knock him up when Rengar dies onto your team. Or say Wukong into Lee Sin. He can kick you out of the team fight with his ultimate, and reveal you with his E. So things like that are obviously situational, since it is more specific champion versus specific champion. Although most of the champions that are being played in the meta right now are consistent champions, so they're usually good in most situations. Alright, so in my eyes, first pick's job is to pick the OPs. As you can see, I prioritize Rek'Sai over everything else because she wasn't banned. Or if he's a solo laner, then pick a champion for someone else, and usually that will be the jungle, support, or even AD carry. You don't want to be picking a champion who can be countered by the enemy easily. Although as you can see, our team composition does suck, but I will get into that later. For this game, I pick Zac. Why? Because tank junglers are meta right now, so he's a good pick. And as you can see, our team composition is pretty good. We have a lot of damage coming from magic and physical, and we have a tank. Honestly though, if you are first pick, you can pick whatever that's good right now. Unless of course you're a solo laner, then you might wanna, trade with somebody else. Alright, next up is last pick's job. Finally something interesting I can go in depth about. So in this Champion Select, as you can see, I pick Zac as our last pick. Now first off, I'm picking Zac for our team comp and not based off what the enemy is picking. And now you may be wondering, why is picking Zac good here? It's because 1, he is a meta champion, and 2, Sejuani is banned, and 3, he does magic damage. Now you may be wondering, who is a bad jungler to pick here? A bad jungler to pick right here would be someone like Vi, Kha'Zix, or even Wukong. And the reason behind that is because we already have so much AD on the team. So if I did pick someone like Vi, all the enemy would have to do is build armor, and they would eventually win the game. On the other hand, let's look at the enemy team comp. They're basically all physical damage, and so the only way they're going to win is if their early game is really good and they snowball the lead. If both teams are equal, we automatically win because all we really have to do is build armor and just tank up their damage while dealing more damage than they can do. Although the game isn't really decided in Champion Select, it does increase your odds if you don't have an all AD team or all magic damage team, and have a good balance of both magic damage and physical damage, so the enemy has a bit of trouble when itemizing against your team. In this other game, as you can see, we lack a lot of magic damage. In fact, we're all physical damage. Now if you're in a position like mine where say you're Rek'Sai, you should probably think about other choices which would give you magic damage, such as Cinderhulk. And most of the times it is always better to get Warrior on Rek'Sai, but of course in this situation, we do lack a bit of magic damage, so that's what I opted into. Alright, so next up I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys see any flaws in this team comp? There is a flaw, and that is too much magic damage. If we had say an AD jungler, then it'd be all good. But the only way we're actually going to win this game is if Kalista gets a lead and starts doing a lot of damage in team fights. Otherwise, if she gets behind in lane or goes negative, we will have a bad mid game since she won't be doing any damage and all the enemy has to do is build magic resist. Next, let's look at a good game where both team compositions are really good. As you can see, on our team we have Xerath, Nunu, and Thresh for magic damage, and then Aurelia and Lucian to do the physical damage. On the other team, they have Lee Sin, Riven, and Corki for physical damage, and then for magic damage they have Katarina and a bit of Corki because of his Q and R. So as you can see, both team comps are really good, and it's going to be a matter of which players are better than the other. Now to sum it all up, basically a good team comp would be, first of all, picking all the OP champions, second of all, having a tank to soak up all the damage, third, having a good mix of physical and magic damage, and last of all, picking a comfort pick for yourself. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two, and yeah, this is how I choose my champion in Champion Select, and maybe you guys learned a thing or two about team compositions and how to build one that's good for your games. Hey guys, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy this video, maybe you'll enjoy 18 tips on improving as a jungler in Season 5, or even the most fun champion in Earth mode in my opinion. Spoiler alert, it's Nasus. But anyways, again, thank you guys for watching this video. I am Patrick Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.